What's up, everyone? Today we have a GX270 that's not running because generally I shouldn't be able to do that with just one hand. It's a 9 horsepower engine. I should at least have to hold it down to pull the pull cable that fast. We have no compression. Now, here's the thing about this. When I ask a person when was the last time it ran, I usually multiply whatever time they tell me by 4. If it's been a month, it's been at least 4 months. It's been earlier today, it's probably been earlier this week. The person told me it was earlier today, so I don't think we have a carb problem. Well, a carb problem wouldn't give us a no compression anyway, but if when we do figure it out, I don't think we have to clean the carb. Fingers crossed. We might, who knows. Anyway, I think we're going to check first the oil. That will give us a clue if it just ran out of oil and if we even need to bother. If it has oil, then we'll take the next step. This machine has lived a interesting life, I'm sure. It has oil. Looks like it's new too. That's worrisome because new oil means that maybe they ran it low, noticed a lack of power, looked at the oil and was like, oh no. But it does have a low oil cutoff, so maybe not. To assist us with the viewing, I removed the air filter and the housing, and it's rusty inside there, so maybe he meant earlier this year. By the way, it's November. I don't remember if this is the one that has a gasket or if I have to put RTV on it. Okay. Oh, well, look at what we have going on here. Now, I may not be 100% mechanic, but generally the push rod should be pushing. Is this loose? No. Why is this? Huh. There's no way it's that far off adjustment. It could be the valve is stuck though. I'm pretty sure that's what I see actually. The valve is stuck. Let me see if I can get something to help demonstrate this. Well, hopefully. No, that's not going to help. It's at least, well, I don't know. What stroke is this on? Okay, that's a lot easier. Now, you could definitely tell that now. That's released. You see exhaust going, and now we are on the intake stroke. I'm feeling the push rod, and if you look, that valve is completely at least a half an inch down, maybe less. We have discovered our problem. Now, let's get a tad bit of penetrant. Can never have not enough penetrant. Just coat this thing. Worst case scenario is you have to wash your hands later if we have to take it off. Oh wait. Now we're getting somewhere. See that? It's moving back and forth now. Now we are pretty much flush. Let's see if we have fixed the problem. Let's put the stroke for the exhaust. That way there's the push rod can be easier to maneuver around. It's never easy to maneuver around. Let's cheat a little bit. Actually, we should undo the 10mm first. Or they're both coming out. To be honest, that's fine with me. We're loosening the plug. We're gonna have to redo the valve clearance anyway. I'm pretty sure I said valve compressor too. It's a valve spring compressor. Okay. This time, however, I do want to use the 12mm. Except you're kind of in the way. I'm going to tighten it until the stud is actually tight. Probably going to need to loosen the 10 and redo the valve lash, but we'll go down that road when we need to. If you ever plan on working on small engines, get a pair of these and try to clean them up when you need to, like I'm going to do now. But they are just feeler gauges. According to quick Google search, the intake clearance should be 4 to 6 thousandths. I'm going to do 6 thousandths because generally when I tighten up this 10mm, it will sink down a little bit. So I like to always start with the high, and then when I check it, I check the low. And if it still doesn't work, then we have a problem. Like right there is good. Okay. So to do this can be a little cumbersome. You want to hold the 14mm still while tightening the 10 to kind of lock it down. This is probably what failed originally. It's definitely hard to get your hands in there while still having a camera watch you. Okay. And generally I like to have a 10mm socket, but yeah. So it still is pliable and moves. And by the way, this is not top dead center. This is on the exhaust stroke. Carb is on this side. That's the intake. Exhaust is on this side. That's the exhaust. The current stroke is pushing the exhaust valve down, so there should be absolutely nothing pressing on this. I think we might have a tad bit too tight, because this is 4 thousandths, I think. Yeah, 4 thousandths. So we have a problem. Let's see if we can't cheat a little bit and just might have to cheat a lot. There we go. It still could be a little looser. let's loosen it while tightening. 10 just in case. Oh yeah, there we go. You don't want to have it very hard to put in to like slide it back and forth, but you do want to have a little bit of drag. So now we have, now according to the same Google search, this should be anywhere between 7 and 9 thousandths. This is 7. That actually feels really good. Yeah, I like that. I also took the gasket off because when I was using the wrenches, I didn't want to mar it up and ruin it. So I'm going to put the cover back on. Try to avoid getting dirt inside there at all costs. There we go. Same thing with the inside of the valve cover. Try to avoid getting it dirty. This tube is the crank vent. It just goes into the intake. Then it goes through the carb, and then it will be burned. If you're noticing a substantial amount of oil just sporadically throughout your engine, especially around the carb exhaust area, it's probably the reason why. Your vent is plugged. Okay, let's disconnect the spark plug because I don't want this to start right now. Let's give it a pull and see if we have compression. It still isn't great. In fact, I would say it didn't do much of anything. Did it get stuck again? Now it's tight. This is the reason why you check it before you button it up. This is tight and the exhaust valve is going down. So we very well might not have had all of the plate removed. If you look at it, the studs right here are very different. Our plot thickens. That is bridged, well, it was bridged over with water. I'm going to blow it out first and then put oil on there. But goody. So that one's actually a lot higher than I thought. Usually I would expect 60 to 70. It's like 80. Well, I guess it's not that much higher, but that's good. So we now have compression, and it definitely feels like it, that's for sure. I think we're going to get a new plug in there because the other one was pretty much trashed, and put it on the floor because I don't really feel like, do I have a new plug? Let's see. Anyway, I don't really feel like pulling on that thing for just on the table because, you know, if it's running, what if it were to fall off, you know? I just don't want to run that chance. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on, put the plug all the way in, and we will take a look at the engine on the table next. After looking inside that tank, I'm pretty much sure I was lied to when the last time it was ran. There's no way that ran anytime this year. But, you know, what can I say? It's just what happens. I have some brake cleaner here just in case, but if it runs, it'd be a sheer miracle. With that fuel, I should say. fuel is on, choke is on. Definitely not easy to start. Yeah, just what I thought. Hate being right sometimes. I have a feeling the plug is fouled. Yes. Yes, it was. See the water? It could be oil too. I did put oil down there. I think it was oil. And generally, we should turn off choke anyway. Yeah. Get this ready. This is literally the 5th time it's fouled the plug. I had blown it out. I did not put that much in there, but it's oil that's fouling it. I pulled on it literally 30 times. I counted without the plug in to evacuate it, and it just gets more and more and more. There's an insane amount of oil in the cylinder. It's causing our problems. It could just be a worn engine. Not sure yet. I'm going to do this one more time. Try this again. Full throttle. Right now I'm just hearing it pop back through the carb. I don't think the valve is all the way shut again. Getting somewhere. Let's try it again. Really kind of warm it up a little bit. Well, it runs. So, but it is important to kind of discuss. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I haven't had to do that for a while. I'm probably going to show like 1 or 2. This is time number 9. Had to recharge my compressor multiple times. Let's try this again. idle or full throttle? Let's just go halfway. It obviously has its issues. Let's take a look at the fuel situation in this tank. It's been a few days, I've cooled off, and I have more time to work on it. Oh. There is roughly a quarter of a tank from what I can tell, and it is not flowing at all. There's no It's not good. Well, let's crimp that up again. What did come out of that tank is mostly rust. Might get a little loud outside. My apologies. It's maybe less than that. It probably is less than that, but still. Let's see what we have in here. Oh yeah. Totally was ran earlier the day that he gave it to me. Totally. Can you believe that? Now, either I have something amazing on my hands that this machine can run on rust, or what I was told was complete crap. So I think the fuel filter is plugged. Let's take it out. It's not wanting to come out very easily. So that literally just had to come off and come out in pieces. I mean, I had to cut it off. It's annoying. Sometimes I think this machine heard me and just refused to cooperate. Moving forward though, now that that's cleaned out, here's a new one. This is what we were looking for, is the filter. I believe that is completely plugged. But before we do that, let's empty out the rest of it. I mean, I'm sure there's more. There's a little bit more, but not all that much. Well, I think I'm going to do those. I'm going to take a couple towels, shove it down there, and then get it cleaned out. It's nice and dry now. Let's go ahead and take a towel and kind of, well, part of a towel, and kind of clean out the threads before we put those in. Make sure the hole is clean. See? It's never a bad thing to have a clean hole in life and in the garage. Close your eyes and ears. Oh yeah, ran earlier today. That still gets me. I'm going to be on that one for pretty much this whole video, I'm sure. Was this one not a 12 millimeter? Huh. Okay. Well, you don't need to see me screw it in there. I'm going to put the tank back on, and we'll work on the engine. As a safety concern, this switch is just not anchored and appears to be broken. So we are going to be replacing it with a new switch. Let's get this tank out of the way. Meanwhile, the switch itself turns it off. Oh boy, there's a whole lot of nonsense going on in here, I can see already. Why? Why do people have to do this? Why can't they just not mess with stuff, you know? In the switch that I bought, it comes with this. So the white one obviously goes, or excuse me, the yellow one goes here, wherever the connector, there we go. And 10 millimeter right here. So the black one only has one way of connecting there. So there's that. I'm trying to remember how exactly these are installed, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Really? There we go. That one's there. Here we go. Black. So that one goes right there. This one goes right here. And we should be good to go with that, at least. Now we just need to just kind of put all these together, make it look nice and clean, and then we're going to take off this one. Oops. Not that way, we're not. For whatever reason, I feel like this is just wired differently than the other one. Maybe that's what they put on there. They just took off that piece. Also, that's not long enough. So that just goes into the hole, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up. After seeing that tank, I'm not even going to bother to see if this carb is any good. I know it's not. So I have a new carb here. It's a clone carb, but these are pretty simple machines. So it's not like it matters too much, at least for, I mean, when you get to like some of the really small ones or some of the really large ones, it will matter a little bit. But even then, it's just kind of jetting. That's the problem. All the passageways, all that. Did that come with a new gasket by any chance? It did come with new gaskets. Okay. So we have that one. That one with the hole. That goes not like that. Not like that either. Here we go. So like this. So you see that little hole right there? That hole goes into this little slot, and that slot is then vented out. That, if your gasket does not have that hole, or you put it on wrong and the hole isn't lined up, then your bowl isn't going to vent right, I believe, and it's not going to run correctly, if at all. It might run a little bit, but definitely not the way it should. Pretty sure though it probably just wouldn't run at all. These springs, I tell you, it's also kind of marred up there, but I'm not going to spend any more money on this machine. The reason why I'm also doing this is not only does the carb need to be replaced, but just having all this gunk everywhere and the filter being bad and everything, it's just better to replace the carb and the filter. And the carb came with the filter. It looks pretty decent, so we're going to use that one compared to the other one. The other one was pretty nasty. Okay, I'm just going to put the air box back on. I'm going to double check for spark, and then we'll put the tank on. That just is held together by a couple of bolts, so not life-changing or anything. I'm going to put it all together, bring you back, and we'll see if this bad boy will run. Can't get any quiet around here, but I checked the spark plug with to see if there's spark with the new switch installed, and there is, and I turn it off, spark goes away, so we're good to go. Carb is installed, fresh gas is in there, new plug, new air filter, oil is still good. Hopefully we should be ready. The fuel, I believe, is on. It is on choke. It's also not on. And turn it off choke. Definitely think the idle could be adjusted. Let me adjust that idle a little bit, and then we'll give it a pull again. Try this again, about half. Try no choke or anything, see if it starts. Okay, full throttle. Full throttle, gas on. Weird. Wonder what's going on now. Let me do a little looking. Okay, well, it runs, and it seems to be running pretty decent. New carb. It was smoking quite a bit earlier because I ran it a little bit before just to make sure, and it seems to be doing just fine. If you are getting a whole lot of smoke and it looks like it's coming when you turn it off, like right now you see it's smoking from the muffler, more likely than not you have smoke in the muffler. I mean, we found a whole lot of, or not smoke, oil. We found a whole lot of oil everywhere, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was a whole lot of oil in the muffler as well. Now, if you're running it and you turn it off and there really isn't a whole lot of smoke coming off the muffler, then it's probably your engine. The oil is getting into a combustion chamber somehow. Bad rings, valve guides, whatever. But If you were to run and then cool off and you see a whole lot of smoke coming off the muffler, let it stop, run it again, just cycle it through, you'll burn it off. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned that if you put your engine away for quite a long time and has no compression when you first pull it out again, more likely than not, your engine's probably fine. It just needed the valves to be moved and worked on and put back where they should be. Sometimes they do get stuck, and when they get stuck, you have no compression. No compression means no engine. No engine means you bring it here, or if you watch this video, you could fix it yourself. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave it at that. Simple stuck valve causing no compression in a Honda GX270. I think it's a 270. Yeah. Okay, if you like what you see, keep watching. Definitely subscribe. Catch me in my next video. Have a good day.